Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Man United have confirmed that Juan has extended his contract until June 2022. Juan has been at Manchester United for over 7 years. He's made over 200 appearances in all competitions. We got Juan from Chelsea back in 2014 in a deal worth £40 million. Juan doesn't really get in our 11, and the element of concern about him, he's lost that yard of pace and he's ageing up. You can play Juan in the number 10, you can also play him on the right hand side. At the first part of last season, he rejected an £18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. Now, Manchester United want Declan Rice, Leon Goretzka or Eduardo Camavinga. Now, Declan Rice has turned down 2 contract offers from West Ham. And he wants to be informed of any bids. West Ham are not determined to sell Declan Rice. They want at least £100 million. Man United, Man City and Chelsea are interested. Declan Rice has been at West Ham for like 7 years or so now. He's under contract with West Ham until 2024. He's predominantly a holding midfielder, but Declan Rice can also be deployed as a centre-half. Don't forget, a while ago, Declan Rice asked Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw about life at Old Trafford. And was it last season? He said Solskjaer agreed with our recruitment team that Declan Rice would be the perfect signing for the club. Before West Ham, he was at Chelsea. He was in their youth setup for several years, but he never got into Chelsea's first team. Man United do need a centre defensive midfielder. But the reasons I'd take Declan Rice at Manchester United is because he's still young, he's got a lot of development in him. He would improve us, he breaks up the play well, and he's well proven in the Premier League. Leon Goretzka. Sport Build recently said that Man United are interested in Leon Goretzka if Paul Pogba leaves the club. Bayern Munich are making no progress getting Leon Goretzka a long-term deal, but Leon Goretzka said he wants to extend his deal with Bayern Munich. His current contract expires next year. Leon Goretzka is predominantly a box-to-box midfielder, but he can be deployed as a right winger and a holding midfielder. He is the age of 26, so he is in his prime. He's been at Bayern Munich for 4 seasons. He's made 112 appearances. Before Bayern Munich, he was at Schalke, and before them, he was at Bochum. And Eduardo Camavinga, He said not so long ago that Man United are ready to make a move for Camavinga once we completed the signing of Jadon Sancho. Obviously, we have now completed the signing of Jadon Sancho. Man United have already met up with Camavinga's representatives. Now, it said we'd have to pay around 85 million to get him, but we set the price for Camavinga. We can sign him for £40 million. Rennes are prepared to cash in on him rather than risk losing him on a free next year. Camavinga is only the age of 18. He made his debut for Rennes at the age of 16. Been in their senior squad since 2018. He's been at Rennes since 2013. He's been capped 3 times by France. He's made like 82 appearances for Rennes. Real Madrid, Arsenal, PSG and Bayern Munich have been in for him. Not so long ago, Camavinga spoke about Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. The Rennes sporting director gave us an update. And he says Rennes have been in discussions with other clubs over a potential transfer for Camavinga. Now, you know the news on Raphael Varane from Real Madrid. Manchester United have made a £50 million bid. Man United have stepped up talks with Real Madrid for Raphael Varane. The price is the sticking point. I think Real Madrid are demanding €60 million, and it says we're unwilling to meet their asking price. Florentino Perez wants to make Raphael Varane negotiations very hard for Man United. He says Man United are close to finalising a deal for Varane. And Sky Sports did mention that we're interested in signing the Real Madrid defender. He says we could get Varane for just £43 million, which is a bargain. Raphael Varane won't take a decision on his future until after his 3-week holiday. So he's taking his time. So as far as I'm aware, there's no agreement between Man United and Real Madrid for Varane yet. Real Madrid may want to include Paul Pogba as part of the deal for Varane. But we have made Varane our priority transfer target after reaching an agreement to sign Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. So yeah, there's a good chance that Varane will be our third signing of this summer transfer window. Fabrizio Romano came out and said that Raphael Varane is open to the idea of joining Man United because it's unlikely he'll extend his time with Real Madrid. And he said it's impossible for Varane to go to PSG because PSG have just got Sergio Ramos. But Varane's made it clear that he wants to come to Manchester United. Not so long ago we made a £50 million bid, but it got rejected because it did say at one point that Real Madrid were demanding £80 million. But we went in for Varane 10 years ago under the Sir Alex Ferguson era. He is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's highly experienced. He's got a great pedigree as a player. He's won like 18 major honours at Real Madrid. And being a long-serving player at Real Madrid, he's been with them over 10 years. He's made 360 appearances in all competitions. Real Madrid got Varane from Lens back in 2011. Varane's current contract at Real Madrid expires next year. He refused a contract at Real Madrid. But if Varane came to Manchester United, what a centre-back partnership that would be. Varane and Harry Maguire, they would complement each other very, very well. But we've had a good start to the summer transfer window. Obviously, we've re-signed Tom Heaton. He's the replacement for Sergio Romero. And obviously, we've signed Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. But I said I'm expecting us to enjoy a very good summer transfer window because I am very convinced that Solskjaer's going to get the players he wants to recommend in. Solskjaer had been given a 150 million transfer budget to buy around 4 or 5 new players. He said that Solskjaer already decided on his transfer targets, and he did mention that he wants to strengthen up in 4 positions. If Man United can make around 4 or 5 signings in this summer transfer window, I think, we can be up there next season. Solskjaer's made it clear that he wants to win the Premier League next season. But our board did say, didn't they, that they'll back Solskjaer with summer signings and a new 3-year contract despite the Europa League final loss to Villarreal last season. And don't forget, Joe Glazer promised Man United supporters that Solskjaer will get the funds that are available. Joe Glazer attended a fans forum on the 4th of June. His first attendance in 15, 16 years. We're going to offload players in this summer transfer window. So reflecting on that will generate money. There's a good chance that Anthony Martial's going to leave. Obviously, a lot of United fans want him to go because he's no longer good enough to represent the club. And he said the other week that Solskjaer's fed up with Anthony Martial's poor attitude. So Man United are looking to sell him. Now, the other week, Duncan Castles said that Martial was offered to Real Madrid. A season-long loan with an option to buy was proposed. Martial's agent is looking to move Martial away from Man United. Martial's been at Man United for like 6 years now. He's scored 78 goals in 258 games in all competitions. He's under contract with Man United till 2024. There's an option of a further year. We got Martial in a deal worth 58 million from Monaco back in 2015, with add-ons included. I'd say Martial's had 2 good seasons. He was good the season before last, and he was good in his debut season under Van Gaal. Martial was out of a knee injury for a while last season. Donny van der Beek there's a good chance we're going to offload him in this summer transfer window. Quite clearly, Donny van der Beek's unhappy at Man United. he hasn't been given enough opportunities. Van der Beek's made like 36 appearances for us in all competitions. Most of them appearances have come from the bench. I think he started, just 4 games in the Premier League last season. He's only enjoyed 1 full season at Man United. We got Van der Beek in a deal worth 40 million from Ajax last year. He's under contract with Man United until 2025. And he's versatile, he can play in 3 different roles. Now, a few clubs have been in for Van der Beek. It's said that Real Madrid have been interested in him. The other week it said Inter Milan wanted him on loan. The other week it said he wanted to go to Barcelona to end his Man United misery, and Arsenal made contact with Man United over the future of Donny van der Beek. Arsenal are in search for a central midfielder, but I think Van der Beek does want to remain in the Premier League. Just before the Euros began, it said that Van der Beek was set for showdown talks with Solskjaer over his future. And he got ruled out of the Euros, didn't he, through injury. I think we'll accept around 25 million for Van der Beek. Obviously, it is 15 million less than what we paid for him, or should I say 10, disregarding the add-ons, because we actually paid, 35 million up front. Nemanja Matic, there's a good chance we'll offload him in this summer transfer window. As you all know, I've got my strong reservations about Matic because he's always been a slow player. And analysing the vast majority of his games at Man United, he's been inconsistent and he's aging up. And Matic isn't one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that, he still gets his chances. Matic has been at the club over 4 years now. Got him from Chelsea back in 2017 for £40 million. We give Matic a new 3-year contract before the start of last season. Pogba, he could leave Man United in this summer transfer window. I don't think he will though. I think he will be with us for next season. Unless he's part of the Varane deal, of course. But I don't think we want to include Pogba as part of the Varane deal. I think Paul Pogba will be happy to stay as long as we match his ambitions. Not so long ago, Paul Pogba had a fallout with Adrien Rabiot. He scored a very good goal for France against Switzerland. Obviously, France are no longer in the Euros because Switzerland beat them on penalties. But he enjoyed a very good tournament, did Paul Pogba. He did say a few weeks ago that he has more freedom with France than at Man United. But we have been getting the best out of him in recent months because he does bring creativity to the team. Now, Pogba's current contract expires next year. We actually fear losing Paul Pogba on a free transfer. Now, Sky Sports News said not so long ago that Man United are in ongoing talks with Pogba's representatives over a new contract. It said we want to make Pogba the Premier League's highest paid player with a new 5-year contract worth £104 million. That equates to around £500,000 a week. I think Mini Oriola is demanding in the excess of £500,000 a week for his client to remain at Man United. Pogba has had a long-running transfer saga. He's been linked with Real Madrid. He's been relentlessly linked with a return to Juventus. Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus before he rejoined Man United. Barca and Inter Milan have been in for him before, and recently PSG have been in for him. Leonardo, who's PSG's chef, he's made contact with Pogba's agent, Riola. Minio Riola the other week held talks with PSG's president. PSG actually want to partner Pogba with Juan in their midfield, and Kim Pembe said Pogba would be welcome to PSG. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's our most expensive signing because we paid £89 million for him, and he's endured 5 seasons at Man United since he rejoined. His agent Mino Raiola did a lot of talking last season. I'm expecting us to loan Brandon Williams out, obviously to gain him more experience and to get a lot more opportunities, because Williams is our third choice left back. Doesn't get enough opportunities at Man United. Phil Jones, I'm expecting us to offload him in this summer transfer window. Phil Jones has always been inconsistent. Doesn't get in our 11 and he was out with injury for a while. Jones is the only outfield player that's still with us from the Sir Alex Ferguson era. He's endured 10 years at the club, so he's been a long servant. Tuanzebe, he's going as well. Delors, I think he's leaving. Andres Pereira, I think we're looking to get rid of him permanently. So there you go. But there's a lot of players that will stay at Man United, and I reckon there's quite a few players that have got long-term futures at the club. But like I've already mentioned to you on my other videos, next season is going to be massive for Solskjaer, and I think he is aware of that. It's very imperative that we start off next season strongly. Next season, Solskjaer must win a trophy to remain Manchester United manager, because he's not yet won a trophy, and we haven't won a trophy since 2017, which is 4 years ago. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. But next season will be his 3rd full season, because he has endured 2 full seasons at the moment. And he has been in charge of the club now for like 30 months. I think it's a bit of a mistake him getting that new 3-year contract, because I'm kind of sure he won't see it out. Ole has under a year left on the current 3-year contract he signed when he got the job permanently back in March 2019. So what we should do is, in reality, is wait until he sees out that current contract, then decide not whether to give him that new 3-year contract. But like I say, despite us signing Sancho, it still doesn't change my perception on Solskjaer. I still don't think he's the long-term manager for Man United, and I think a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect, but I hope I'm proven wrong. You know, obviously there is United fans that are Ollie in, there's also United fans that are Ollie out, especially with that loss against Villarreal in the Europa League final last season. Like I said to you, I do have my concerns about Ollie. My 2 biggest concerns about Ollie is that he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager. That doesn't mean he can't succeed at Man United though, and his decision making concerns me, because in a lot of his games at Man United he has been tactically naive. Before Solskjaer was with us, he was at Molde, and before Molde he was at Cardiff. His record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. And don't forget, Ollie managed the Man United reserve team for a couple of years, so he watched some of the team grow and develop. I think Solskjaer has done a pretty good job, though, to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager. You know, I didn't expect him to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect I am shocked. I have criticised Solskjaer a lot though during his managerial tenure at Man United, but obviously I've had my reasons behind it. You know, Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over at Man United it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. He knew he had a lot to do when he got appointed in. And you know, Solskjaer has made good signings as Manchester United manager. He's now spent over £300 million. He's got rid of a lot of players since he's come in. He knew he had to do that. I think he did well in his first full season, got us to 3 semi-finals and got us a 3rd place finish. In his second full season, got us to the Europa League final, the EFL Cup semi-final, the FA Cup quarter-final, got us a 2nd place finish last season. Last season, went the entire season without losing away from home in the Premier League, so that was a record. And I like the way he develops the youth. But the reason he's still Manchester United manager is because he's a club legend. That's what's basically saved him, because we have endured very bad periods under Ole, you know, where he's been very, very close to getting sacked. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you for today. Drop your comments, like, explore on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.